It's what's wild in New Hampshire, except for I'm not in New Hampshire. Hey, Ginny. Ginny and I are up in camp in Maine, mid-coast Maine, for birthdays. Yeah, my granddaughter is celebrating her 18th birthday today. Happy birthday, Erin Martell. And my birthday coming right up. Historically and traditionally, we would come up to open camp on Memorial Day weekend and celebrate my birthday for going on probably 50 years now. And this lake is in the town where my father was born and where my parents lived when I was born, which I was introduced to at age 4 to fishing. And I have been fishing here ever since, 70 years worth on this lake. It has changed very little. Well, where there's upland where you could build, there's been a few places added, 3 or 4 houses and 3 or 4 camps over the last 70 years. But much of the shoreline is like over there, and over there, and over there is wetlands, unbuildable. So the lake has changed little in the 70 years since I've been coming up here, and it doesn't get much traffic. The only boat on the lake this Memorial Day weekend sits right there. It's the only boat on the lake. Not even a kayak. Usually there's a kayak or two. Haven't seen one yet. Maybe today. But some of the folks come up a little later in the summer and they'll be kayaking out here. And once in a while a boat. Not all that often. But right now, the alewives. I don't see them right now. I'll have to do one later. The alewives. The alewives come in here to spawn along the shoreline. Well, first thing in the morning or late in the evening, you'll see them. But what is magical about Memorial Day here, you probably can hear it. Look at that. Warblers. I came down and put my Merlin app. If you don't have the Merlin app from Cornell Bird Lab, you're crazy. You come to a place like this in the morning, yesterday earlier, and you put your Merlin app on, and you get a scroll of warblers. Cape May this morning, cerulean, yellow warbler, chestnut-sided warbler. I usually listen for a minute to see what comes up. This morning in that minute were a dozen birds. Well, I included a crow and a mourning dove and a red-winged blackbird and a song sparrow. But many of the others were warblers. So get yourself to the edge of a lake or a river or a stream where there's thick, brushy habitat, like right here, like is around a wetland, and listen for the warblers. And get your Merlin app on your phone. You will listen and hear so many warblers to learn and to appreciate. In that minute this morning, there were a dozen birds calling it. So yeah, the dock is not in yet. It'll probably go in later today. Got the boat in yesterday. Oh, Memorial Day weekend is the peak of birding up here, without a doubt. There are more warblers and other birds calling and singing right now than any other time of the year. Get outside this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, and think about things, I guess, as we all do, about those who have come before us and allowed us to do these things. We appreciate them and think of them, particularly this weekend. But you can also appreciate the wealth and beauty of the abundance of wildlife we have here in the United States and in New England, in New Hampshire, and here in Maine, East Central Coast, Maine. Yeah, this is a place to be if you can. Get outside this weekend. Absorb all that is out here. There is so much to absorb this weekend. Things are in bloom still. And the rush of the summer has not happened in places in other lakes. Yeah, it kicks off this weekend, but the wildlife is abundant, and this is the time to watch them and listen for them and learn them and appreciate them and appreciate all that we have here. Thanks to those who have helped make it happen. Thank you so much. We do love what we have and appreciate it. This is wildlife biologist Eric Orr for what's wild in New Hampshire or Maine. Yeah, we love our camp.